Leadership Bites with Syed. Hi, I'm Syed Ahmed. I'm a leadership alchemist and a leadership coach. I'm on a personal mission to help 1 billion people acquire high impact leadership skills. For this purpose, I have developed Leadership Presence Blueprint and Leadership Presence Mastery. Before I speak on the topic for the day, I would like to welcome you to subscribe to my channel by clicking the subscribe button below this video. Today, I would like to talk about adversities we face in our life. Irrespective of who we are, what we are, and where we would come across adverse times, challenging times, times when we would feel like giving up. Irrespective of whether we are a normal employee, we are a freelancer, an entrepreneur, a founder of a big multinational corporation, adverse times, challenging times will not spare us. What is more important is when we face challenging times, how we come out of these challenging times, whether we are able to emerge stronger, learn from these challenging times is more important than anything else. We've all heard about Steve Jobs, and it is not surprising to know that he faced adverse times a number of times in his life. If I could ask you, what can be more adverse? What can be more difficult than listening from your doctor that you have only a few months to live? And how did Steve Jobs handle it? How did Steve Jobs come out of it? Is how you can see through the following video.
My third story is about death. When I was 17, I read a quote that went something like, "If you live each day as if it was your last, someday you'll most certainly be right." It made an impression on me, and since then, for the past 33 years, I've looked in the mirror every morning and asked myself, if today were the last day of my life, would I want to do what I am about to do today? And whenever the answer has been no for too many days in a row, I know I need to change something. Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. Because almost everything, all external expectations, all pride, all fear of embarrassment or failure, these things just fall away in the face of death, leaving only what is truly important. Remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. You are already naked. There is no reason not to follow your heart. About a year ago, I was diagnosed with cancer. I had a scan at 7:30 in the morning, and it clearly showed a tumor on my pancreas. I didn't even know what a pancreas was. The doctors told me this was almost certainly a type of cancer that is incurable, and that I should expect to live no longer than 3 to 6 months. My doctor advised me to go home and get my affairs in order, which is doctor's code for prepare to die. It means to try and tell your kids everything you thought you'd have the next 10 years to tell them in just a few months. It means to make sure everything is buttoned up so that it will be as easy as possible for your family. It means to say your goodbyes. I lived with that diagnosis all day. Later that evening, I had a biopsy where they stuck an endoscope down my throat, through my stomach and into my intestines, put a needle into my pancreas and got a few cells from the tumor. I was sedated, but my wife, who was there, told me that when they viewed the cells under a microscope, the doctors started crying because it turned out to be a very rare form of pancreatic cancer that is curable with surgery. I had the surgery, and thankfully, I'm fine now. This was the closest I've been to facing death, and I hope it's the closest I get for a few more decades. Having lived through it, I can now say this to you with a bit more certainty than when death was a useful but purely intellectual concept. No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. And that is as it should be, because death is very likely the single best invention of life. It's life's change agent. It clears out the old to make way for the new. Right now, the new is you. But someday, not too long from now, you will gradually become the old and be cleared away. Sorry to be so dramatic, but it's quite true. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
We've all heard of a saying that when it gets tough, the tough get going. So this video of Steve Jobs is a very clear example how he was not defeated when he heard a very devastating news. He took it positively, he came out of it and emerged much stronger than ever before. Let me tell you one thing very clearly, my friends, that whatever is going to happen is going to happen. But if we brood over it, if we are going to overanalyze it, then we are only going to get doomed. So instead of worrying too much, let's buckle up. Let's tighten ourselves. Let's refocus so that we emerge stronger from these adverse times. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button below this video if you have not done it before. Thank you.